It's the Horns Up Talking Texas podcast. Joshua Fisher, Alexander Toss with the Rock Tosopoulos, DJ Nikki Snacks Crider. It's the Horns, so get your horns up because here we go. Horns Up Talking Texas podcast. We have a guest today, one of the coolest cucumbers, honestly, since we've been there. We've seen a lot of, Quinn right now looks a little too cool for school sometimes. But this guy, no fear in his eyes, no fear in his heart, was an awesome kicker. And honestly, it's a shame that we weren't there for the NIL section because you would have had some really good run with the nickname. We got Dicker the kicker, Cameron Dicker, now of the LA Chargers, joining us. Cam, how you doing today, man?
Doing great. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, man. Well, we're pumped to have you in LA. We're obviously all based in LA as well. You've had a crazy journey, man. Obviously in the NFL, and now you've been, lights out there in Los Angeles. You hit a game winner against the Falcons, which was sick. We want to take it back, way back. You were born in Hong Kong. So how did that happen? How did you go from being in Hong Kong to being in Austin and then going to being a Longhorn kicker?
Yeah, was born in Hong Kong. Dad was working in supply chain management, and then went from there to Shanghai and lived in Shanghai primarily for the 11 years. And then all of a sudden, my parents said we're moving to Texas, and I was like, "Oh, cool! I'm gonna ride a horse to school. All this is gonna be happening." I had no clue what was really going on, and then showed up, went to Lake Travis, didn't play football 6th grade, and then 7th grade. Everybody in Texas plays football, so I was like, you know what? I'll do this, I guess. Was an O lineman, hated it. Was like, this sucks. Life sucks being this. And so decided, hey, I'm gonna give kicking a go. And then kind of just stuck with it for fun for a while I still played soccer, and then looked like it could be a career for me. And so got a scholarship offer junior year of high school. And I was like, looks like we'll take this and roll from here.
So it was just kind of happenstance, really. When did you kind of realize you can kick at the collegiate level, and then when in college did you realize you could kick at the NFL level?
I think high school, I kind of realized I could kick pretty well, like my freshman year. Just going to camps, being ranked decently, and then just kind of seeing how that all goes, and then just the way I approached it mentally compared to like guys that you're around at your school, you can kind of notice something's a little bit different. But I don't know. It's just one of those things where there's a lot of good kickers out there, and I went to a powerhouse school in Lake Travis, and so more eyes kind of show up there, and so it definitely helped me a lot.
I grew up in the Austin area, and I remember you guys had that like slogan, "Strive for five straight high school state championships," which is crazy.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's a breeding ground of talent. You guys in Westlake. I went to Georgetown High School, but
Okay.
what are the differences that you've seen so far from the NFL and college in terms of kind of getting out there on the field and kicking?
Yeah. Really, it's kind of weird how everything's kind of close in. The uprights are the same. Your operations are all, I think most people would say everything's a little bit smoother just because these dudes, this is all they do. They're the top. It's all the cream of the crop. Everybody's just the best of the best in what they do. And so everything's just a little bit smoother and makes your life slightly easier. And so I was talking to somebody, and they were like, yeah, kicking kind of gets easier every level you go to, because it's like, as long as you're mentally sound, nothing really changes other than the people around you are kind of getting better and better. And so I had great specialists college that were with me. So made transitioning to this pretty easy.
I was just wondering about like your process coming out on the field. Like we've heard of kickers, there's so much pressure, obviously. And a lot of the times, like you've already seen against the Falcons, like that's it. Like it's on you to win the game. Right. But we've heard stories of guys like Vinatieri who come on and are so like, you'd anticipate them to be laser focused, but they're really jovial, joking, and really lax. Like, what's your demeanor on the field? What's it like kind of running on to like kick a big kick like that?
Not really thinking, just kind of hanging out. Running out there, just as I go out there, I kind of like black out, don't really remember things after. They'll be like, oh, did you see this? Do you feel this? I'm like, dude, I don't know. Like, I saw the ball going through, and then I was like, cool. And so it's kind of that same thing where you just kind of let your body take over. Everything kind of goes quiet around for me. And so I don't know, you just kind of go into your little state of mind where it's just like you're alone out there with your snapper and holder, and you just got to go do your thing.
Do you have like
when the offensive drive is driving? Do you have a routine where you have to get 2 swings of the leg in before you get out there, or is it just you just grip it and rip it?
No, it's pretty much once they get across the 50, I start hitting. So while we're on defense, I'm sitting around, joking around, having a good time, just talking with other specialists. Like Dustin Hopkins here is like, hey, dude, are you one of the, like, because there's some specialists who are serious the whole game, some that aren't, just whatever floats your boat, but I'm not the whole game. He came up to me, he was like, hey, and I was like, oh, let's talk. And so talk about everything in life. So it's awesome.
Yeah. Have you seen the Van Noy clip yet? I'm sure you
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Have you spoken to him about it?
Not much. No.
You should have been
funny.
like, yeah. It would have been funny if you're like, hey, I'm Dicker the kicker. Yeah, you're welcome for the win, and then just patted the two, like the multi-time Super Bowl champ on the back, and like.
I just was about to say, I honestly did not know his name. Didn't know a bunch of the guys on the team either. So I was like, totally cool. Don't worry about it.
I love it. Before we switch gears out of the NFL into college football, I'm sure most of the world knows, but if they don't know, you were on the way to go see Carrie Underwood with your girlfriend. You got a call from your agent, headed to LA to sign with the Chargers and kick for them, and you're still on the team here, which is great. Carrie Underwood gave you a shout out on Sunday Night Football and said that she was gonna get you to a concert. So when you taking her up on that, and have you spoken to her yet about it?
I haven't spoken to her yet about it. Just had it brought up again to me today from our media department, and some of the NBC people that were here were like, hey, this is like a real thing. If you want to do it, let's make it happen. And so I kind of need to look at some dates, but it's a little hard to during the season. You never know what's going on. So off season, I'll look at it probably a little more once it gets towards the end of the season and try to figure something out.
I'm sure the girlfriend's
set
pretty happy.
for life. Yeah, I was about to say set for life, dude. Like she's probably stoked that her boyfriend got a shout out from Carrie Underwood. That's epic.
She's pumped. She's like, you shouldn't have gotten that. It should have been me. I'm a bigger fan, and I was like, go. Sorry.
I mean, how many Carrie Underwood songs
should have kicked better?
Do I know? I'd say like 8.
Okay, 10. It's a solid amount. It's more than me.
Solid.
I'm really bad with names of things, with names of everything. So it's like once songs are going, then I'm just like, oh yeah, I know the song.
Yeah,
for
sure.
Yeah, I mean, I rock a Kiss shirt out all the time. I know like 4 songs, so you're way ahead of me in the Carrie Underwood stage. We'll see. Yeah, like Nick was saying, we'll go to college, man. Obviously, so many questions about the Horns. We want to hear your thoughts on everything. Can you give us a little insight on Sark? Obviously, last year was a bit tough to go. What's your relationship with him? What are the other guys in the team saying? And what are your initial thoughts on him and his ability to really kind of resurrect the program to get it where we all wanted to be?
Yeah, no, he's been great. I think he's a good coach for the place. He's a calm guy, just kind of open, wants to help guys grow off the field. And so it's good to have people like that in your life. And so, I mean, everybody wants football to be going well, but guys in that building want to get to the next level, want to be better people when they leave. And so he's kind of helping make those connections, helping you get to that area. And then obviously great recruiter and does a good job bringing in other coaches that can help him get some wins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What are your thoughts on the SEC move?
I think it's fun. I was hoping it happened while I was there, but it's
Oh, you wanted smoke, huh?
It's one of those where I'm missing. What was that?
You wanted all the smoke.
Oh yeah. It makes it fun. I like playing in those big games. So those would have been, I don't know if they would have been bigger games, but I think it would have been a little more fun for some of them for 1 year.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like looking at the Bama game and looking at how electric, I want to hear from a player standpoint, from us, like in the stands, covering the team, obviously as fans ourselves, the atmosphere, at least in the stadium, seems to have changed. And even in basketball now at the Moody Center, you can see it. How did it feel as as a kicker with a team behind you? How was the pressure, I guess, of Longhorn Nation dealing with that? Because I'm sure that was, mountainous at times. But if you kind of noticed that despite some losing seasons or not meeting expectations, the crowd and the fanhood's getting more back into it.
Yeah. I mean, it's the first part, just kind of like dealing with it. It's it's a lot of people cheering for you. It's like probably the most recognized brand. So it's cool to be in that situation, but you also kind of got to understand that where you are, you understand the situation, know what's happening. And so it makes, you can't do some things around Austin that other people can go do. Got to be a little smarter with going out, having fun, and then just just being able to, I don't know, mentally, I just haven't really ever cared too much about what other people think. And so I know the people in my close circle love me, and that's really what matters the most. And so I was like, if something happens on the field, like, sorry to let you guys down, but my life's still good.
Yeah.
Kind of identifying myself away from football.
This guy was made for Los Angeles.
Yeah, 100%. And well, here's the thing. I want to bring up a Hollywood movie that I have conceptualized in the past. I've told these guys about. I've always wondered what it's like to kick the game winner or to just be the man on campus after hitting a really big field goal. And you've had a multitude of those as a Texas Longhorn. What is it like the night of, after kicking a huge kick like that on campus?
Fun. I mean, the Oklahoma game was funny. Everybody thinks I probably went out after that game and just went nuts. But me and our punter, it was the night of the Conor McGregor fight. I always regret doing one thing. Sorry. I always regret one thing. After that kick, I wish I would have hit the McGregor strut just walking out there after, because that was the night of this fight. It was huge. Would have been perfect timing. But that one, we went back to his dorm room and picked up mod pizza. We went back and just watched the fight. That's all I did that night, and then went to bed.
I feel
you're
you,
talking
man.
about UFC, talking about watching some other sports, which is really cool. Are you going to be tuning in as much as you can to the World Cup?
Of course, I'm pumped. Already been talking to some of my friends that I've grown up playing soccer with, and they're like, "Are you be able to watch games?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's one during practice, I think, but like, I'll try to see what I can do."
What does the U.S. have to do to get over the hump and actually really compete here and potentially win it all?
I don't know. It's going to be interesting this year to see if they can. I'm looking forward to the 2026. Just kind of like, this one would be a shock for everybody, I think, as if they go super far, it would be like, oh, okay, it's a team that's stepping up. But I think 2026, being a young team, it's going to be the year. That's going to be the big year, because all those young guys will be a little older.
Are we satisfied with them getting out of the group stage then? Is that enough?
They need to get out of the group stage.
They have to, right? That's a requirement.
Dude, outside of England, we have to be the second best team there, right? We got to be better than Wales.
Easily. I mean, I think England's a winnable game. It's just, you gotta step up. England's got a history of kind of choking in some big tournaments. So,
dude, they are choke city. Like, I honestly, like, if we were like we were like with Germany, I'm like, oh my god, like those guys, like they mean business. They take care of business. Brazil, Portugal, England. Like, if we came out and smacked them 2-0 in the mouth, or sorry, 2-0 in the mouth, you gotta say it right. I gotta get used to the soccer chat for next week. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, they crumble all the time.
Yeah,
they need a little mental prep class from you. That's what they need.
That's true.
Cameron.
Who knows?
We're not going to give it to them. We'll let we'll bring you in for the USMNT team, and you can talk to them.
I'll go to, as long as they fly me out to Qatar and I can go to a couple games. I'd be.
If we beat them, we're gonna party like it's 1776, baby.
Right.
I mean, I would be down. I mean, getting flown out to Qatar would be sick. I heard, like, honestly, the airways are pretty nice, apparently, like the Qatar Airways, but there's no beer in the stadium.
Yeah.
Do y'all see that? That's so whack.
They got their reasons in Qatar. It's okay.
I know,
that's why we're looking at 2026, Josh. Come on, we're looking to the future.
I know. I thought it was such a letdown. Like, it was such like a uprising lift when the DKR they could serve beer. I was like, now we're talking.
Yep.
Now we got a stadium going.
Cam, we always ask our Longhorn guests this question. It's something that is a universal question to everyone that has come to this show. What is your favorite memory all time as a Texas Longhorn? Doesn't even have to be from the playing field.
I mean, I'd say that kick against OU was probably my top one. That one was a pretty fun. It was our first time beating them in a while, and so being able to kind of bring the golden hat home and feel that was the only time we did while I was on campus, and so it was. I'd say that was the most memorable for me.
Mm-hmm. I got one more for you, Cam. Bijan now that you've really seen the NFL talent, how do you think this guy's going to do in the NFL? I mean, obviously he's he's not even the talk of Austin anymore. He's the talk of college football. How do you think he's going to really translate to the NFL?
I think he's gonna be a beast. Dude's a beast right now in college. I love the kid. He's a great guy. Text him every once in a while. Just a very humble dude. And so it's cool to see people that do as well as him remain humble and still love on little guys around the area. And so he's a really, really good guy. And so I'm excited to kind of see how his career goes. I think he should kill it.
Forget the McGregor strut. Whenever he makes it to the league and you're playing against him or playing with him in the pocket, you've got the Bijan, and you do the shot of the mustard. That would be
That's
iconic.
the celebration. He's got to bust that out one day, huh?
Yeah.
You think one day he would?
You put it through the uprights. You bring it into the NFL. Why not?
See, that's something I can pretend I do, but on the field,
like a Joe Horn type situation when he hid the cell phone, like you have like in your non-kicking like leg in your sock, like a bottle of the Bijan and just whip it. Dude, you would get fined so hard, but it would be so sick. That would be the most
I'd have to tell Bijan. I'd have to say, "Hey, Bijan, come on, pay me for this."
Yeah, this is like marketing 101. Dude, keep it up, man. Obviously, Nick's pulling for you. He's a Chargers fan, but we're all in LA pulling for you. You've been again lights out. Keep doing your thing. We've seen you do it so many times, countless times, and we know you will. And enjoy the Carrie Underwood concert whenever that may be.
Thank you. Appreciate it.